A major development in the fight for closed primaries. It's October 9th, 2025, and these are your headlines. Attorney General Ken Paxton is siding with the Republican Party of Texas in its push to close the state's GOP primary elections, filing a joint motion today to strike down what both are calling an unconstitutional provision of the Texas Election Code. The motion supports the state party's ongoing lawsuit against Secretary of State Jane Nelson, arguing that Texas's open primary system, which allows Democrats and independents to vote in Republican primaries, violates the party's First Amendment right to free association. They said this unconstitutional law stopping the RPT from closing its primaries is completely indefensible. He called on the Secretary of State to swiftly implement changes instead of fighting the case. Now, this move is unusual, certainly, because Paxton's effectively opposing another state agency. Nelson's office has hired outside counsel to defend the open primaries, while Paxton joins the party in challenging it. The lawsuit follows a 2024 GOP ballot proposition where 73% of Republican voters backed closing the primary. Party leaders argue that Democrats have interfered in recent races, most notably a 2024 runoff that re-elected former House Speaker Dade Phelan. If the court rules in their favor, Texas could join states like Florida, New York, and Kentucky in requiring formal party registration before voting in primaries, a major shift in how Republican nominees are chosen heading into 2026. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals has temporarily paused the execution of Robert Roberson, who was convicted of murdering his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki Curtis, more than 20 years ago. Roberson was scheduled to be executed next week for beating and fatally injuring his daughter in 2002. Jurors heard that Nikki suffered extensive bruising and brain trauma, with medical experts concluding she died from blunt force injuries, not from any illness or accidental fall. Well, today, the state's highest criminal court rejected most of Roberson's latest appeals, calling them repetitive filings that failed to meet legal standards, but the court did send one narrow issue back to the Anderson County Trial Court to determine whether a 2024 decision, known as Ex parte Rourke, could affect any of the forensic evidence used in the case. The justices stressed that Roberson's conviction remains intact and the review will focus only on that limited question. The stay of execution will remain in place until the lower court reports back. 3 judges, Mary Lou Keel, Gina Parker, and Kevin Urey, dissented, saying the execution should proceed. State Representative Jeff Leach and Brian Harrison both praised the court's decision, calling it a step toward truth and justice.
Hey folks, Chris Salcedo here. I've got something special for you, the Salcedo Storm podcast. As your friendly, liberty-loving Latino, I bring you a mix of engaging discussions to help us fight for our state and our conservative values. It's the perfect way to stay informed and engaged in what's happening around you. So, what are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the storm of information and entertainment coming your way. The Salcedo Storm podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Following Governor Greg Abbott's new directive to remove surface markings and symbols from streets that don't directly support traffic safety, including rainbow crosswalks, Houston Metro says it will comply and restripe the city's iconic Montrose crosswalks. Abbott's order, issued just yesterday, instructs cities and counties to eliminate markings or flags that convey social or political messages or risk losing state and federal road funds. He said Texans expect their taxpayer dollars to be used wisely, not to advance political agendas on Texas roadways. Well, in a statement, Houston Metro confirmed it will follow the directive. The agency said they recognize the significance the crosswalk has to the community. However, given the recent directive, they will comply with the order to preserve the support essential to their mission. The rainbow crosswalks were first installed in 2017 to then honor Michael Alexander Hill, a man who was killed in a hit and run. They were funded by Pride Houston 365. Houston City Council member Abby Kamen blasted the order, calling it an unhinged stunt and accusing Abbott of political grandstanding while ignoring issues like healthcare and flooding. Houston Metro says restriping will begin soon to remain in compliance with the directive. For more of today's stories, go to texasscorecard.com.